So yeah,
Hello
Kenyon,
and welcome to Sports by Compion. My name, of course, is Stephen Compion, and I'm joined here by a very special guest, an absolute Susquehanna University wide receiver legend. When this man paroled the streets and halls of Susquehanna, he had some of the most amazing flowing hair, and not only that, but the wide receiver skills to back it up. Mr. Jude, one of my more excited guests I've had over here. How you doing, bud?
what's up, Steve? Doing good, man. Thanks for having me
Hey,
on.
we're happy to have you, man. We're going to go ahead and talk about some Philadelphia Eagles football, which, not the biggest fan of the Eagles, but I do like talking about them because they're a very interesting topic. They're a fun team, so I'm glad we're going to hop into this. But
Well, you
yeah,
should, you should like talking about him. You beat us the first round of the playoffs last year.
we have a couple good victories against you guys, going all the way back to our first Super Bowl win, which not to dampen the mood on this one, but we did just hear about the passing of Monty Kiffin. Sounds like he lived to 84, full life, but an absolute Buccaneers legend, the mastermind behind Tampa 2. Shout out Monty Kiffin. I'll never forget what you did for Tampa. Anyway,
Yeah,
hopping
no,
into this. Go
just
ahead.
to
I'm
go
sorry.
back to that though, that NFC Championship game was sweet.
That was
That,
crazy.
that
Do you
season,
remember any of it, or?
yeah, vaguely. I remember. Um, I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember Dawkins having a good game, but just like
Yeah, that wouldn't
Tampa
surprise
Bay,
me.
like I was so young. I guess I was like maybe 10 years old, if that.
Probably
But
even a little younger, honestly, because I was
yeah,
like 9 years old for that one. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah, so if you were 9, I might have been like in my mom's womb, you know?
no, you were probably like 5. I'm not that much older than you, damn dude.
Totally. That's so funny.
Anyway, let's hop into this end of this draft because man, this was interesting to me. Um, you know, we'll hop into that second round pick, but Quincy Mitchell, first DB off the board in general, for the NFL. What do you think of this kid,
So the game plan,
Quinton? Right?
yeah. So the game plan that I had heard listening on the radio, I like to listen to 94.1 WIP. It's a popular
Yeah,
FM
shout out.
station out around here. Yeah, and so the conversation was all about getting a D back, whether it was a safety, a corner, or somebody to fill the void. Because obviously the Eagles, I think they were like 30th in pass defense last year.
It was tough.
It
These boys
was
couldn't tackle
low.
back there either. That I don't I've no I've never seen a game with such bad tackling as that one against us.
Terrible, dude. And so, like, my first thought on them getting a corner was it's obviously a smart move because that's where your lowest ranking was. So maybe that'll help at least, breed a little bit of competition for the older guys, or maybe it'll push some guys out. And this kid apparently is really fast. I know he's from Toledo, so it's kind of a risk, right? Is he Toledo?
He is Toledo, but Toledo's been making some noise in college football lately. Like the last couple of years, they've been pretty good. Their quarterback has been leading this to some glory. Just came out. I forget who picked him up in the seventh round, but they've been fairly decent the last couple of years.
Well, what's crazy about the pick, right? So, like, Mitchell was the first corner pick. There was still an Alabama corner on the board, which
Yeah.
I think everyone expected him to go first. I forget his name, but there was a couple SEC guys,
Well,
big school corners.
Cooper DeJohn definitely got really his name started to get really loud leading up into the draft. I know a lot of Packers fans of mine wanted him, and
Yeah, dude.
I kind
He's
of wanted him
good.
as a Buccaneers pick. I'm not mad about our pick at all, but yeah, he's an exciting pick as well. He's good.
Dude, honestly, both are cool. And you know what's funny? Around here, like I said, the radio, people were talking about getting Cooper DeJean. They actually, like, some people wanted him as the Eagles' first pick at 22. So it's
It's
kind
perfect
of,
to get him in the second round.
dude, yeah, you can't even make that up. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So as a
That
fan, so you got to be hyped about that. But just as like a football fan, you got to be excited about that.
I,
Back to back
I,
corners. That's kind of cool.
you're definitely committing to the defense in general because then outside linebacker, with what that Mr. Hunt. Anyway, yeah,
So
it's
here's a
impressive.
fun fact. You might have to fact check me on this, but I think from what I heard, there was a time. You know what? I could just plug in my computer too because I have two screens. But I think the last time the Eagles did back-to-back corner picks was when the Eagles picked Sheldon Brown. Do you still see me?
Yeah.
So when the Eagles picked Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepherd, granted that team went to the Super Bowl. They played the Patriots in like 05 or whatever after the 04 season. Or was the 05 season? I think it was the 04 season. So it was a good team. Like it was a team that was able to contest. And I don't know what year they drafted those guys or if it was after, or I don't know the full story, but
I do feel like the Eagles always draft really well, and they always seem to be in good position for the draft too.
Yeah, right. It's crazy to think because like typically, at least the past decade, they've had a pretty decent like season.
Team in general, and then
Good
they keep on getting like really good draft picks. I feel like, and you know we'll get into the actual roster here in a little while, but you know I really love the story of Jalen Hurts. What's not to like? The guy gets benched in the national championship for everyone to see, and he like comes back anyway, man. Goes out to what was it, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Started back out there, and then you know great careers so far with the Eagles. It's awesome.
You know when the Eagles drafted him, that was a big uproar because they had won the Super Bowl 3 years before that. Technically, not three. I'm using the years wrong. So they had won the Super Bowl 2 seasons before that in 2017.
Right.
So the 2018 season had passed and the 2019 season had passed, and there was a lot of like confusion about who was going to start. And Wentz, he was getting injured, but he was still the good quarterback. But it just seemed like having a backup was a secure move. And how did he go that far? Right? I mean, like you said,
crazy.
He did well in college, at least good enough to get a play at Oklahoma. I mean,
well, I think he's a guy who just never stopped believing in himself. Despite
you're right.
Despite what everybody else is telling him, like, dude, coming back from getting benched in the national championship, that's impressive.
Yeah, I'd probably just fucking give up at that point, right?
Dude, it'd be hard. It'd be hard to rally from that, dude. What do you think of Will Shipley, running back? You guys kind of need to restock the running back market over there, huh?
Yeah, I think that's good. He's an athletic running back too. I think he could do a little bit further than just like running up the middle. And I think he's a good receiver. Yeah. I heard. I'm surprised that we were able to get him too. I heard he's a stud. I don't know much about him. I saw a couple clips. He looks fast. To have more running backs is important because, obviously not, we're talking about the draft and all, but you can't talk about the draft without saying Saquon Barkley is an Eagle now. So it's kind of
crazy,
pretty neat that you're able to have Will Shipley. So now it's like, okay, you got a young kid in there, and now you have a veteran running back who is, he could change the course of our run game. Maybe this Shipley kid can get in to help spell.
Are they going to commit to it though? Wasn't that kind of the issue last year? Like Swift was doing well, but it was like they just didn't commit to the run.
Yeah, well, Swift was doing really good, I think, even in like the beginning of the year, and then something like fell off with it, or was it he was doing well the year they went to the Super Bowl? Was that it? Was he on the Super Bowl team?
I know he was doing well with. I don't think he was on the. I think he was still with the Lions when you guys were on the Super Bowl.
That's right.
I think he only had a 1 year stint with the Eagles, didn't he? Because now he's gone somewhere else.
Oh, he left? Swift left?
I think so.
I haven't caught up with him. Let me look that up real quick. So I have and to go
back
to
that out real quick. In the meantime, you guys drafted yet another receiver. It seems like you're just all about these fast receivers over there. I don't know if you guys should be having more. It seems greedy.
Yeah,
Annis Smith, love it.
Yeah, he's a beast. I think he's really tall from what I saw, or like super
looks
fast.
Like a big boy. Good old Texas A&M boy, and then you got Will's teammate over there, Jeremiah.
Dude, do you know about Jeremiah Trotter Sr.?
I do not.
That Jeremiah Trotter Sr. was a stud Eagles linebacker. Like I watched Jeremiah Trotter Sr. growing up.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, captain, filled the gap, Pro Bowl, big time guy. Yeah, he was a serious middle linebacker on the Eagles. So
that's so cool. They drafted his son then. Nice.
And they're local too. I mean, of course, Trotter, after he had played for the Eagles, he stayed in the area, had his son, and his son went to a school nearby, where I live, and also it's pretty neat, man. It's a good full circle story. Everyone in the area is happy with that. That's like when you think about the draft as an Eagles fan, like you could talk about all this like guys who are good and shit and all, but the Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is the coolest one.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it's a cool pick. Dude.
Man, there's a lot of these second generation NFL players we're seeing now. You know, it started with Christian McCaffrey, who's like,
Yeah.
he should have won MVP last year. I don't care what anyone says. But anyway, you know, he's balling out, and like the rest of them are starting to fit in well too. Like Michael Pittman Jr. is a stud. Antoine Winfield, I dare say, is a stud as a Buccaneers fan. You know, like
isn't there a defensive end on the Steelers? Is Harrison or is he?
No, it's Joey Porter Jr.
Porter,
who's playing. He's playing corner. He was really good last year, and then this year, obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. is coming in.
Oh, that's right.
And then there's another like Joe Alt. He's like a junior.
Who picked up Harrison?
Joe Alt.
Who picked up Marvin Harrison Jr.?
The Cardinals.
Ah.
They need some help over there for Kyle Murray, so that should be pretty good.
Man, indoor stadium too. It's a wide receiver's wet dream, you know.
Yeah, no, he'll be, and I think they're moving on from Jordan Hopkins. No, I think he's still there, so he can take away a lot of the heat for the young kid too. So that'll be good. Anyway, we got a couple other guys here. You know, some offensive linemen, another receiver. You'll love to see it. So you're most excited about this Jeremiah Treader pick?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just out of like nostalgia and like close to home Trotter Jr. But you know, you can't go wrong with the first two corners, man. That's a cool pick. You know, it's exciting
for sure. No, I like that a lot, and definitely jealous of the Cooper DeJean pick. I hope it works out for both these guys because I've been following Toledo a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, so going into this actual roster, as you mentioned, probably the biggest acquisition over the off season was Mr. Barkley himself. He's now an Eagle coming right over to the dark side. You gotta love it.
Yeah, he stayed in the division, man. Pretty tough, huh?
It's always funny when players do that. Like they could probably go anywhere, especially these stars like him, and they kind of stay in division. It's like, maybe he wanted to send a little message to the Giants or something, you know?
Did you hear the conversation between Saquon and the general manager of the Giants?
Not quite. No,
I'll send you the link, man. It's cringy,
okay.
Wild. It's one of those things. Yeah, the GM was kind of like, hey, like, you know, if you want to go look around and see what your worth is, go ahead. Like, you're free to do that. But, like, you know, we're set with what we're going to pay you. So when you come back to us, like, you know, or, like, can you give us your word that you'll, like, come back to us? And, like, he was just like, dude, what? No, it was bizarre the way he worked. It was like, dude, you just, like, fired me kind of, you know?
So. That's crazy. I hope you guys get more production out of Brandon Graham. I love that guy's game. He's such a stud.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of getting a little older, but you love to see it still out there. I can't believe you guys had Gardner Johnson on your team now.
Yeah. Sign him to a big contract, though.
I thought he just went back to the Saints where all his trash talk belongs. This is the guy who talks piles of shit, right?
Yeah, he talked shit on the Eagles, too, on the fans and all.
Dude, well, didn't he he was with the Lions last year, right? Where, like, they were winning, and he was like, we got this shit, and then the 49ers came back on them.
Yeah.
Famously. Yep. All right, cool. Well, I think he'll fit in well there. He's apparently a pretty good player.
Yeah, he's a baller, dude. He's a tough guy. He hits hard.
He talks a lot of shit. And then Jordan Davis, hopefully he can start, you know, developing into the monster that he could possibly be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to have to happen.
The guy's huge. Like, to start plowing through that line and do some cool stuff. I didn't even know Paris Campbell was still
Carter.
in the league. Well, good for him.
Yeah, you see that guy right there, the Britton Covey, the receiver at the bottom?
Yeah.
His grandfather wrote the book, Seven Highly, or like, it's like, habits of highly successful people.
Yeah, we read that in college, yeah.
Yeah, Jerry, I think it's something Covey. I forget the author's name, but his
grandpa wrote that?
Yeah, isn't that cool? Fun fact.
That is really cool. That's a fun fact. Is he a rookie? Oh, third-year guy. Okay.
Yeah, he's like a return guy, and occasionally, you know. But I think DeJean's going to take over. That's our second-round pick. I think Cooper DeJean's going to start returning kick.
And then James Bradbury, man, he had a tough game against the Buccaneers, but a previously good season. I think he started the season good. Definitely had a good year, the year of the Super Bowl. Other than that penalty against the Chiefs to go ahead and lose it, but
yeah.
What do you think of Bradbury? Are you happy to have him back?
Nah, I think I don't think he'll be on the Eagles roster after any camp. Yeah, someone's gonna pick him up. The Eagles are gonna release him. He'll be a free agent, dude. he's old. I know his contract's still with the Birds and all, but I just think he's not what he used to be, man. This past season was sad watching him play. He looked like an old dog.
He had a tough year.
Throwing the frisbee out, and like the dog's just like waddling, you know.
He definitely had a tough year. Fair enough. So we're going to move on from him. And then, yeah, as we mentioned, Jalen Hurts had a bit of a rough end to his year, but you can't discount what he's already done and what he can do when he's playing well, right?
Yeah, he is. I mean,
do you still believe in him?
Yes.
All right, cool. Love to hear it.
Yeah, I mean.
Any other players you want to mention here?
I know it's popular to talk about AJ Brown, popular to talk about Devontae.
Yeah, of course.
There's always something to hear in the media. You know, I heard in the offseason AJ Brown, you know, changed his profile picture to Tom Brady, and some people are trying to say that he wanted to do something with another team and this and that. And go figure, they signed him to a bigger contract. And then same thing with Devontae Smith, got him off the rookie deal. As a fan, you got to be excited about that. I mean, that's just two studs. Yeah. They're both top 10 receivers. I mean, I think AJ Brown's like a top 5 guy, and then Devontae Smith somewhere in that range. I mean, I think they both had 1,000 receiving yards at some point in the past couple of years.
And they're both dangerous, no doubt.
Yeah.
Isn't Devontae like the last guy to win the Heisman that wasn't a quarterback in like the last couple
you're
years?
Right. You're right. And he went pretty late too in the pick. That
he did. Yeah. Well, they were on, you know. But the thing is, man, the wide receiver market is wild. The freaking talent coming out every year in the draft is insane.
There's so many. How many receivers can a team have on their roster?
They can have a lot. I think you can have. Well, you can have as many as you want. It's a matter of how many of that 56 or 55 man roster do you want for receivers. But they are useful athletes. You can kind of put them in a lot of spots.
Yeah, they're good special teams guys and shit.
Exactly. But anyway, that makes sense. So you got the boys are back for another dangerous year at wide receiver. I do like AJ Brown. He's definitely one of my favorite wide receivers in the league. So wish him continued success. Let's hop into the schedule, Jude. Let's see what you think about what the boys are going to do. Oh man, you open against the Packers,
dude. No, I'm pissed about that game. Not to cut you off, that first game is bullshit because it counts as an Eagles home game and it's in fucking Brazil.
Oh, dude, I did hear about this, and I have a bunch of Packers fans, so they're all very happy about this.
Yeah, bet, because it's just a net loss. But so there's another thing you're gonna have to fact check me on, but I think they cannot wear green inside of the Brazil stadium.
I heard about that. I heard that was also bullshit. So
okay.
Yeah, I heard it was bullshit. It was I heard it circulating through Reddit, and then like the next day, Reddit was saying that.
Yeah. That's
so like,
all right.
Well, that's at least what the Redditors have said. Either way, if you're going to that game, maybe be careful. There's also
of course,
Brazil, like don't die. Anyway, what do you think? You're gonna beat the Packers? Jordan Love, you scared?
I mean, he's good, man. He's coming off a pretty hot season. Who knows?
They in general, how they ball down in the playoffs. They're coming off a very good year, and a year that everyone thought they're going to be terrible. Because I have lots of Packers fans who like to inform me about how good they are. It's
going to be lame. It's going to be a lame game because it's in Brazil. I mean, if it were in Green Bay or Philadelphia, I'd be way more excited, but it's not, and I don't know how to feel about it. So.
Do you think if it wasn't your team losing a home game, you'd be more excited about the fact that it's in Brazil? Because
for sure. Home games are a big deal, especially when
I get that.
Team, you know?
No, I get that, especially your guys' home field games. I totally get that. Understandable. Well, we'll see how that one turns out because that's a toss-up. I'll allow it. Atlanta Falcons are going to have Kirk Cousins still figuring out the ropes there in week 2. They are loaded, to be fair. They are fucking loaded, so they really might have been one quarterback away from being an absolute juggernaut there in the NFC South. I'm going to say no because I'm a Bucs fan, but we'll find out.
Yeah, well, how do you feel about the Falcons? Because their running back's starting to find his way, and
I'm a little worried about them, but at the same time, it is Kirk Cousins, and plus, I believe in the Baker Mayfield, train. Let him bake. You gotta believe. You gotta believe in your guy. What else can you do? But anyway, the Atlanta Falcons, no doubt, fucking good. And they're good on defense, too. There's the thing. They picked up a lot of pieces in the secondary. Grady Jarrett's still a stud up the middle, and they have some other pieces as well.
Yeah, I'm impressed with what they did. So I've always been a little apprehensive about the Falcons. They can make anything out of nothing. But
That's fair. And the same thing with the Saints. I feel like
yeah,
they're just one of those franchises that hasn't been bad in the last like 2 decades.
who's playing quarterback for them right now?
It's still Mr. Derek Carr himself.
Oh, nice. Wow, dude. So look at that. The Falcons, Saints, and Bucks were just running through the
I
NFC.
know. That's crazy. It's the NFC South to start off your guys' year. So what do you think will come out of the if you're looking at these 4-game stretch, Packers, Falcons, Saints, Buccaneers, what do you think are coming out of there? 3-1, 2-2?
I want them to come out of there 2-2. I'll be happy
Right.
with 2-2.
Cool. And that goes right into a bye week, which sucks that it's an early ass bye week for you guys.
Yeah, but for the Eagles, that could be good because last year after our bye, I think things went to shit with the
That
whole
is actually true.
big loss and all those away games. I think it was like, I forget off the top of my head, but it was like 2 in a row we lost, then it turned into 3 in a row, then it was like 4 in a row. You remember that?
Yeah. No,
was
it
all
definitely
after
got out of hand right after. I think it was after the bye week.
Yeah. So early, maybe it could be a sign that like they have to figure it out earlier and just kind of cruise into the rest of the season. Going into the Browns, I like that.
That should be good. We'll see what Deshaun Watson's up to, but hopefully you guys can pull that off. Plus, you're at home coming out of the bye.
1 o'clock. That's good stuff. And then Giants, you got to be hyped, man. That's just going to be an awesome football game. If you're not watching that, you're missing out, especially with Saquon being back in Meadowlands.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely try to tune in for that one a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game.
We also got the Bengals, Mr. Joe Cool himself.
Yep. Dangerous game. Who knows what will happen there, especially in Cincy. Those fans are going crazy now.
It's the later window too, so it'll be a bit of a prime game.
Happy about that.
And then your guys' second primetime game will be against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah,
what the heck? Who are the Jaguars, dude? Are they a good team? Are they team that's paying
it's a significant game for the Eagles because of Doug Peterson. So
true.
Anytime, yeah, even though it's AFC, NFC, it might have some impact on everyone's opinion, why he left, him leaving, what sense that had. But
what do you think about Trevor Lawrence? Not to get too off topic here, but the man just got paid. It's got to be one of the most controversial payings since Daniel Jones.
What did he get? What was his contract? I didn't see.
Oh man, that's a good question. He got fucking paid though. It was good. I think he's making over $30 million for sure.
I mean, if I were a Jaguars fan, I would be happy. They haven't had much to root for in a while, and it sounds.
I think you got to buy into the kid. Like he is a natural winner. Yeah, he's finding his feet in the NFL, and he throws a shitload of interceptions. But I was a Jameis Winston guy. I believe in fucking be a gunslinger as opposed to be a boring quarterback that you just lose and he throws a bunch of incompletions.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like him. To answer your question, I like him. I think if I was a Jaguars fan, I'd be pretty pumped. I'm happy I don't have to play the Jaguars more than once a year.
You're playing them, more than once. I was going to say, you're playing them here on Sunday night.
Playing them once in a blue.
So that's another 4 games. You're already 2-2. Do you hope to be now maybe?
After that, it would be good, obviously, to be 6-2 at that point. But realistically,
I was going to say,
5-3. Even like a 4-4. I'm fine with 500 at that point up until we start getting into these NFC games, and it's like Cowboys, you gotta win that. We never win in Dallas, so if we can win there, that would be huge. Especially the Commanders the next week and all. But
who the heck is the Commanders quarterback? Oh, that's right, they just drafted that quarterback.
Yeah, gay
dude. Yeah, Jaden Daniels.
Is he the one who paints his nails?
No, that's Caleb Nelson. That's Caleb Williams.
Steve, am I allowed to be like unfiltered on here, or like what?
Yeah, baby. Come on, it's Sports by Compian.
All right, cool. Sorry if I'm messing up everything. I feel
no, you're totally fine. But yeah, no, the Commanders is an interesting bag of tricks. Who knows what the heck you're gonna get there? Rams, same thing, man. Are all those old veterans gonna tape it up and have a good year, one more year, or what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I mean, they just actually signed a contract with a local kid. He went to the same high school as my girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
And we played him in high school. His name's Jonah Jackson. He's cool. Good. He was on the Lions. He's a good football player. So
he just signed for the Rams. What position? Yeah,
serious contract. He plays guard, I want to say, or tackle. I forget.
Cool.
He's on the other line. But yeah, dude, that'll be fun to watch him. Especially, I like Stafford. You can't not like him, but he's a threat. So,
well, shout out Jonah, man. Good for you.
yeah, right. It's cool.
And then Baltimore Ravens. They are playing. Oh, damn, dude. Yeah, you guys got to go to Baltimore at M&T Stadium with Mr. Lamar Jackson himself.
Yeah, it's beat. But it's in December. So, hopefully it's not like rainy or something or like too cold. I think it'll be fine. Good weather.
It probably won't be too bad.
Close travel. Yeah, it won't be too bad. That's nice. Where do they play right before that?
It is close travel. You're right. It's the Rams before that at SoFi. Cool.
I'm fine though. If so, it's the Rams and it's a Sunday. So then it's another Sunday. So you get 7 days. What's nice about that is the week after it looks like it's home.
Yeah.
So the travel seems pretty fair. Then it's home
for the Panthers, no less. That's great.
Yeah, you're right. Which is, and then I like that. And then you look even further. They're in Washington. They're in D.C. the following week. So that whole month of December, it's local.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a good point.
And that's what happens with teams. They start traveling far, and then they'll play a Thursday game and then a Sunday game, and it's like the rest time is impossible.
Yeah, and then they got the Giants. Basically, after this, LA trip, they're at home or at least in the East Coast area for like most of November and December. That's a huge advantage.
It is. It's a big deal, and those 7 days are a big deal too. Like it's not like you always play on Thursday, but like I think last year they had like 2 Thursday games or something.
So what do you predict? Playoff run?
Playoff run, I think so. I think it's hard to be a fan and say that you don't want your team to win.
You're not gonna go. Right.
A home field playoff, like winning the NFC would be sweet. Obviously, you're a Bucs fan, so you're not going to be on board with that. But as far as the rankings go, I would say like who's number one in the NFC, the 49ers.
Yeah.
The Rams. Is it the Rams or the Lions? The 49ers, Cowboys.
The 49ers, and who was in there with them?
Who's the second guy? I forget. It's not the Packers. But the teams I'm naming.
Oh, it was the Packers. It was the Packers.
Is it the Packers? Okay, so 49ers.
The Packers lost to the 49ers in the championship game, correct.
So you figure those are the teams and we play the Packers, but we don't play the Niners. And it would be nice to get a playoff run.
No, they played them in the division round. I'm totally wrong.
But to win the NFC East, that would be big. And then
for sure,
get into the NFC Championship game. That's sweet. Keep Jalen Hurts confident and happy. A lot of people think he's like a little too robotic, but I think it's a part of his style. So I don't know why it matters if he's robotic or not. Like
it's just who he is, man. Yeah. It's his personality.
What are you drinking there? What's that, a Pepsi?
Oh, I got me a Bud Light over here. We're proper.
Oh, nice.
We support all bedroom decisions.
Nice.
Yep. Dude, we appreciate you coming on, man, talking about your beloved Eagles. Overall optimism, as you should. A young team, young quarterback. They've shown they can be successful, a bit of a downside to end the year, but no reason to believe that hangover will carry over into the next year, right?
Right on, man. Appreciate you having me here, dude. It's a sweet jersey. Is that a Mike Allstott jersey?
It sure is. Mike Allstott, the A-Train himself, dude.
That's so cool. I have dreams of his highlight tape. I go to bed and dream of him.
Who doesn't pull up a good old Michael Allstott tape every now and then, man? You want to learn how to run the ball? Watch that boy.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Anyway, any last thoughts or opinions here for the fine people of Sports by Compian, Jude?
We got 5 live people right now. Are we live?
No, this is a recording.
Any last words?
They will hear you.
That's funny, but nothing really. I just think it's an exciting time to be an Eagles fan. So anyone who's listening who is an Eagles fan can understand what I'm saying. And there's a little bit of tightness in the air because of Sirianni and certain decision makings, and I don't think he makes a lot of calls on the offense or defensive side. And a lot of people are kind of like, well, what the hell do you even do? Season, you know what I'm saying? So this season's really going to be a sign of, can a new offensive coordinator make it happen? Can a new defensive coordinator make it happen? Or is it Sirianni? Is he the, reason things are, Yeah, so it'll be cool, man. It's exciting. I'm pumped. So whatever happens, happens. No matter what, football's coming up. You got to be hot.
Football is coming up. Thank
yeah,
God.
it's just like you could smell it too in the air, right? Like
exactly.
It's like it's football season. So
football is coming, baby. Thank God for that. Thank you, Jude, for coming on. Thank you, listeners. Continue to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care.
Right on, Steve.